First of all, I'm sad that I even got to make a video like this. It's taken me 4 days to muster up not only the emotional strength, but the mental strength to even get this video together, to do the research, to be able to make my arguments and make my claims very clear. So first and foremost, I need you to understand there's going to be some people that are going to watch this video and they're going to disagree with me wholeheartedly. They're going to have all kind of holes that they think that they're poking into my logic and my reason. And to that, I say, all right, that's cool. You can comment under this video. You can, comment and DM me or whatever you want to do. Or you can go live with me and we can debate it out there on any platform. And then there's going to be another group of people that are going to agree with me. They're going to be learning at the same time and all of that. And that stuff is cool too. But here's what I need you to understand about Chris. If you ain't understood it about me by now, is that my intention is to never get 100% of buy-in from 100% of the people 100% of the time. That ain't what I'm here for. I'm going to provide, based on what I believe to be logic and reasoning, arguments against a certain thing and commentary on certain topics of discussion, and you take that or you leave that. So, with that being said, let's build. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Christopher J, aka CJ Hunter, and I'm back with another B.U.I.L.D. Talk, Dat Talk, where we provide social, political, and cultural commentary and get our shit off, basically either a long or a short soapbox. So welcome back, everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the like button. That shit is free. Also, hit the subscribe button and press the notification bell so you can get all the necessary updates when the B.U.I.L.D. drops videos. Also, if you like the video, and even if you don't like the video, you got some shit to talk about the video, share it. It helps us out with, competing within the algorithm, and it gets more and more people having a conversation on what I'm about to talk about. Man, as I stated before, it's taken me quite some time to get to a space where I was mentally and emotionally ready to do a video like this. My heart is still heavy from hearing the news that I did from last weekend. Over the July 4th weekend, I woke up to seeing 5 children under the age of 12 being murdered in cold blood, being murdered for absolutely no reason. And it was perpetuated by people who have no regard for human life at all, in my opinion. Not even their own. And so it really pains me, because one of the things that people that know me intimately know about me is that I have a special place in my heart for 2 groups of people. And those 2 groups of people are considered to be our vulnerable population. Those are the children and the elderly. And while I have empathy and I can sympathize and empathize with those of us in the middle, it really crushes me when young people and the elderly suffer at the hands of other people's negligence, carelessness, and lack of regard for human life. And as I watched the responses to these murders, whether it's in Atlanta, Chicago, California, or Detroit, one thing that stuck out in my mind was this narrative that has been around for forever, but in the heightened sensitivity, whether with regards to police brutality, race relation, systemic racism, and the perpetuation of racism and white supremacy in the current state that America is in. This term is being used almost as if it were a slur against our community. And that term is black on black crime, which it fucking infuriates me. And excuse my French, if you somebody that don't like cussing, at this point, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and exit stage left so that you could go ahead and not hear me get my shit off, because it's about to happen. Black on black crime is this legendary myth that's used among people on all ends of the spectrum, right? So whether you're black, white, blue, green, or orange, whether you are a man or woman or non-man, whether you are a conservative, whether you are liberal, whether you are an extremist, or you are someone who is moderate with regards to social issues and political issues, black on black crime seems to be the number one defense that leads to the exclusion of black people having any sort of foothold within society when we begin to demand shit, right? So, for example, there's always a multitude of times where people ask, well, what about black on black crime? What about Chicago? What about Baltimore? What about Louisiana? What about Detroit? What about? Whenever we are in a space where we are saying, man, this is bullshit, enough is enough, and we need our just due as black people. Nothing against anybody else, we just need our just due for our people. What about black on black crime is always the narrative that is pushed so that it seems as if the shit is being justified. The behavior against us that is perpetuated is justified because we have people, or part of our community, that just so happen to commit crimes on people that look like them, right? So when we talk about Black Lives Matter, and so you don't get it fucked up, I am not a comrade of, nor am I a confidant within the Black Lives Matter movement. Whether you consider it to be a social movement or whether you consider it to be a political statement, whatever it is, I don't want you to get it fucked up. CJ, Christopher J, Chris, whatever you want to call me, is neither a confidant of nor a constituent or comrade within the Black Lives Matter movement. So let me just get that shit straight for you, okay? But when we say a true statement that Black Lives Matter, what about black on black crime? Or we talk about police brutality and the fact that unarmed black men and black women are dying, literally dying at the hands of police. What about black on black crime? Hey y'all, we want equality, we want equity, and we want y'all to leave us the fuck alone. Well, there's really no unity among you guys. You guys can't even come together. You don't even trust each other to do A, B, and C. And so, if you want an example of that, what about black on black crime? Y'all know that's some bullshit, right? First of all, let's break that down. For the black folks who are talking about black on black crime is an issue and how can we expect for there to be any sort of respect from other races of people or from people who are in authority that control our daily lives if we don't have the same respect for ourselves and we keep killing ourselves. Let me ask you motherfuckers a question, just hypothetically speaking. Let's say we woke up tomorrow and say, hey y'all, there's no more black on black crime. And black on black crime is totally fucking eliminated for the next 5 years. Okay? So we wake up tomorrow, black on black crime ends, done. And it proves to be true for the next 5 years. Within that 5 years, and even after that 5 years, do you seriously think that there's gonna be any change in the way other communities and people who are in power see us or treat us? Do you really think the ending of black on black crime, as you call it, is going to change the fact that we are dying in the streets at the hands of people who don't look like us? I mean, I really need you to conceptualize that, okay? Like, really. Hey, man, 2 things when it comes to that. Those people don't give a fuck about us to begin with. See, Dr. Joy DeGruy, who is one of my favorites, I really consider Dr. Joy DeGruy as a master teacher. Dr. Joy DeGruy talks about the idea of there being a creation of the lack of empathy by the dehumanization of a people. If I dehumanize you, if I make you less than human, if by some way I can make a group of people or just period not see you the same as they see themselves, it robs everyone of their humanity. It robs the victim of being seen as a human being, and it robs the humanity or the building of empathy by the person who has the potential to perpetuate violence against someone. Right? So when non-black people talk that bullshit, black folks, and I'm talking to you directly right now, okay? When they talk that bullshit about black on black crime, it's not because they give a damn either way that we're killing one another. It is a lack of empathy. It is an ability to disassociate themselves from being the same as you. And when I say the same as you, I mean being a fucking human being. Okay? So that's that. And then for the folks who want to talk about, well, Black Lives Matter isn't saying anything about black on black crime. Well, like I said, I'm not a confidant, a constituent, or a comrade of the Black Lives Matter movement, but it would make sense to me not to even speak to those people or to speak up against it, but not even address them. Because, hey fam, if these people are committing crimes and those crimes are leading to the death of people that look like them, then wouldn't it stand to reason to come to the conclusion that those people don't give a fuck about black lives? I mean, I really need y'all to think about that. So, all in all, that statement gives justification for and lack of empathy to the ability to see black people as the same so that they want to do anything about anything to help us. So black folk and non-black folk, stop with the bullshit, okay? Now let's talk about crime and murder in general, okay? Now, a lot of folks are gonna wanna leave links at the bottom for that 2018 FBI report on crime and all that other shit. Hey man, you can save that, because here's the thing. What statistics will show you, and what forensic psychologists and criminology experts will tell you, is that crime within any community is perpetuated against one another. That's number one. And it's gonna be the first piece of crime that is perpetuated is on people that look like you. Why is that? Because crime, specifically murder, is about proximity, right? You are going to do harm and you are going to take from that which is closest to you. So it would stand to reason that blacks kill blacks more than they kill other people. Latinx communities kill each other more than they kill other people. White people, so on and so forth. Like you get the fucking point at this point. Like it's about proximity. And then when let's not fuck the fact up that crime, specifically in poor and impoverished areas where people are either at or well below the poverty line, regardless of race or ethnicity, okay? I need you to hear me on that. Regardless of race and ethnicity, crimes are perpetuated in this manner based on the economic resources and availability to that poor population. So there is a direct link, okay, according to Dr. Thomas Wadsworth, there is a multi-level link. In his dissertation in 2001, he wrote, there is a multi-level link to employment and criminality within poor populations, regardless of race or ethnicity. And this is where I'm addressing both groups at the same time. Remember, I said I was going to address the black folk and non-black folk that talk about this bullshit black on black crime thing, and then I was going to talk to directly the gangsters. Well, here's where I'm combining my conversation between the both of them. Job opportunity and lack of resources increase, according to Dr. Thomas's dissertation, increase the likelihood and the type of crime. But then there's a level even on top of that, right? There's a level on top of that. You can provide jobs all you want to, but if a person doesn't have a livable wage, where even if they're making the minimum wage, they are unable to take care of themselves, like pay rent and pay utilities and have transportation to and from work and have food on the table, they are still more likely than not susceptible and willing to participate in criminal activity to supplement for that which they are going without, even though they're working at a minimum wage job. So then it also begs the question that you just can't employ the poor to keep them from robbing one another or killing one another or perpetuating any sort of crime. It is about the quality of said job and the ability of them to have said job and be able to take care of themselves efficiently. Okay? Because that's the thing that's binding us, right? And so I feel like you gangsters, y'all take advantage of that, especially with these young kids. Because what is happening right now is there is an uptick according to the FBI, in teenage and young adult criminality with regard to murder, robbery, and property crime. Okay? And so when this thing works cyclically, it works in a cycle. So if I am a 16-year-old boy in Chicago and I have, things are gonna hit a little different for me, because let me play the scene for you, right? If there is one 16-year-old boy with a 2-parent household, both parents make a livable wage, him getting a job is gonna be different, right? It's different. It's gonna be based on him wanting something, or, it's gonna be based on whatever, parameters or paradigms his parents have set for him, right? And so there's not gonna be much of a need for him to be involved in criminality unless he involves himself based on a choice that he makes. But then you take another kid that lives in Chicago as well, right? He doesn't have both of his parents. It's him and his mother. And he has siblings kind of like Kid A. Like Kid A, he's 16. He's got younger siblings, right? Like his family is doing their thing. And Kid B, no father in the house. Mother probably is working a couple of jobs. And then he has younger siblings that he has to take care of. Because there's no presence of a man in the household, he has to act as such, right? So him working a minimum wage job that isn't gonna pay him a livable wage at fucking 16 years old isn't gonna provide him the ability to take care of his mother and his younger siblings, right? And so the question begins to be begged by both the gangsters and you other group of people that I'm speaking to at this point. Why would I go sack groceries at a grocery store when I can make more as a corner boy in a week than I can in 3 months working at this grocery store job? Yeah, sure, my life is in danger. Yeah, sure, I'm probably gonna have to up the pole, as they say in Chicago, on a couple of cats because I'm scared and I want to live. But the money that's gonna come in by me being on this block is gonna help me take care of my mama and my younger siblings. And that is the thing, right? And so employment and criminality and the ability for poor people to take care of themselves sufficiently is the biggest factor among many. And I ain't got time to be going through all of that in this video. But for my gangsters, I want to speak to y'all directly, and then I'm gonna let y'all go. The blood of that 8-year-old baby is on y'all's hands. And it is on the hands of every gangster in this country. Because there were rules, there were ethics, there were laws that were ever violated, even when I was coming up, right? And I ain't claiming to be no gangster, believe me. Now, I don't bore nobody, but I ain't claiming to be no gangster, not by any means, right? But I'm a hood baby. I grew up in 3rd Ward. So I understand how gangsters move, right? So women and children were always a no-no. Women and children was always a no-no. And now there's no honor and there's no code among the very cats that claim to be the hardest in dealing with stuff like this. Hey man, if you a gangster in the streets and you getting your money however you getting it, I can't knock that. But when it comes to the perpetuation of violence and you sending these young cats on these crash test dummy missions and they 15 and 16 years old and they're scared, and they gotta do it because you are a person that is showing them so-called love, and you're putting money in their pocket and you're putting food on their table, knowing the type of loyalty that's gonna come with that. You're being a predator, big dog. You're being a predator. And the fact of the matter is that these young guys, these 15, 16, and 17-year-old cats are going out there and shooting and upping the pole indiscriminately based on your command. And they hitting everybody but the target. And it really shouldn't even be no violence to begin with, because you, as the OG or the so-called OG, because there's a responsibility that comes with that. You, as the OG, are supposed to be the one that's able to use your mind in order to get some shit handled. But that's all I got, man. I done went on a rant and I only got a few seconds before these goddamn cameras cut off. So, man, say what you want to say, feel how you want to feel, but this is a talk that talk, and I had to get that up off of my chest, man. I'm starting to fucking sweat. So, like, comment, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and we out.